It's girly IRL, yeah. It's girly IRL, IRL.
Olivia gals, welcome to Girli IRL. How are you?
Hello, I'm very excited to be here.
I think you're the first Brazilian artist I've had on Girli IRL, which is awesome. Where are you in the world right now?
I'm from a town called Curitiba in the south of Brazil. It's a very cold city.
Really, really cold.
Yeah, It's very similar to Europe. They say that Curitiba is very like a Europe city from Brazil.
My idea of Brazil is that it's all just like super hot and summery. I feel like probably a lot of people from Europe think that about South America, but it's probably just not true.
Yeah, they really say a lot of stuff about Brazil, but only focusing on Rio de Janeiro. And it's like a very hot city, and everything happens in Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo as well. So they don't really focus on other parts of Brazil, but they're like so important as well.
So I always ask every guest on here this first question. What 5 words would you use to describe yourself?
I guess I'm going to start with angry, sensitive, a lover. I have a really big heart, so lover is the right word for it. Intense and melancholic, I think.
Ooh, oh my god, yes.
Ooh, oh my god, yes. I feel like a lot of the time when people are asked that question, they kind of blank out. Oh, I am musical. Those were really good words. I went on your Spotify, obviously, and in your bio, you describe yourself as an angry Brazilian singer-songwriter. What makes you angry?
Oh, a lot of things. Right now, I'm going to be very specific, and I think that I'm really angry about injustice. I'm really angry about the government right now because we have a lot of things going on here in Brazil, and it's a very political situation here. And I'm also very angry about not a lot of women having their voices heard. I am trying to do music to fight for that.
What does the word punk mean to you?
When I think about punk, I think about freedom. I think about simplicity, because sometimes people think that music needs to be technical, needs to be something very sophisticated. And I feel like punk is music that you can really not think about it too much and just do it kind of raw, like you're doing this music to express yourself and express what you think. And it doesn't need to be difficult for other people to understand. You just have to say what you want to say. And I think punk is very that. Simplicity and freedom.
Fuck yeah, that's so cool. It's so true. I had never thought about it that way. Music should be for everybody. It shouldn't be intimidating for people to start making music. You're a multi-instrumentalist. Which instruments do you play?
I play like a little bit of some instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit of bass, and I know a little bit of electric guitar, and I know a little bit of piano, but I'm learning now drums, and
Yeah.
it's a powerful instrument. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, because I saw a video on your Instagram of you playing drums.
Yeah, and I'm trying to learn to sing and play drums at the same time. And it's really difficult, but you feel like so powerful, Of course, always gonna have someone, especially men, they're gonna come to you and, give you some piece of advice or on an instrument.
Yeah, so true. How did you find it when you decided, okay, I want to make music, I'm going to learn instruments? Was it easy to like pick them up, or did you have to really go find them? Because I think the same with lots of different hobbies that are considered, for men, for women, like gendered. I feel like it's always a lot easier for boys to start learning guitar or be encouraged to play drums, but for women, there are less doing it because it's less encouraged. How did you start learning these instruments? Just one day, like, fuck it?
First of all, I started with singing, so my parents were really okay with that. But when I thought that I was like ready to drop out the lessons and start something new, my parents were a little bit concerned that I was really doing this, you know, I was doing this for my life. And they always thought that I was very passionate about it because I was always saying that for them. But when things started to happen, because I wrote some songs and then I started to take guitar lessons, and I got to meet up with a producer, and then my parents were like, okay, this is happening. They tried really to get me to do something different, you know. I just had to follow my heart, you know, because I always felt in my bones that I had to do it. So I had to do it by myself, and I had to show them that I was born to do it.
So did you teach yourself guitar and bass?
No, I had lessons. I had a friend of mine that taught me 2 or 3 chords on the acoustic guitar. And then I started to write my songs with that. Simple songs, but I was starting to express myself. And then I started to get like more lessons from acoustic guitar. And then I went to learn a little bit of bass too. And I love bass. It's such a beautiful instrument.
It's so badass. I love it. Like, I have this image of you just playing bass and then guitar and then drums and then singing. You're like this one woman band. What is feminism like in Brazil? Because I know how it feels in England, I guess the USA, kind of, but I don't know, like, what is it like trying to push feminist ideology in Brazil?
It's hard. We have the movement very strong here, but I don't know, it's still very hard to do this stuff here because people are very judgmental of feminism, and then they don't want to understand, they don't want to listen. So it's really hard, especially because of this government right now. Like I said before, we have a lot of problems with this government, and we're trying really hard to stay positive that next year is going to have we're going to have the election, and maybe things can change for the better. I always try to read about feminist movements here, especially in my hometown, so I can know what I can do to not just be a part of it, but talk to people about it, you know. And also I want to tell you about this project that we have here in Curitiba that is not from Brazil. I think it's from the United States. It's called Girls Rock Camp. I volunteered last year. It was really nice because you get to see like a whole week of girls teaching other girls, women teaching girls instruments, how to sing, how to write, how to do stuff like write on t-shirts, choose a name for your band. And then in the end of this week, they get to do a show with their own bands. It's really cool. After that, I felt like my ideas with feminism were really more strong than it was. Felt really hopeful.
That's such a cool program. We need it everywhere. That's so cool. Awesome picture to picture this room of girls just rocking out. Do you see your music as a protest?
Yes, I do. I think that I started because I needed a type of protest in my life, you know. I was always a very shy kid, and I went through a lot of things during my education years, you know, in school and after that. So I didn't know how to put it all out. I started to write songs, and when this friend of mine taught me how to do some chords on the acoustic guitar, I started to write my songs, and I always felt like I was trying to do a high note in the middle of the songs, you know? And then I thought, oh my God, I'm trying to scream. I'm trying to say things out loud because I can't. So yes, of course, my music, it's a total protest for me.
Fuck yeah. And one of your songs that I love is called Good Manners. What inspired that song?
I love this song. I had this experience with a guy. I don't know. Do you know when you are in a relationship with someone and you see that as they talk, they are not really seeing reality as it is? They're like fantasizing about it, or I don't know, just saying delusional things. But you're still there as they're talking, and you're like, what are you talking about? How can you see things like that? And like I said, my songs and all that I write, they're very political. So of course it has to do with political things. I saw this guy talking about political things and I was like, you're not really in touch with your own reality. So I wrote the song about, because I was very frustrated that even though I saw all that, I was still caught up in the situation, you know? And when I released it and everybody liked it, I was like, yeah, I'm not wrong. I was right to be frustrated about that.
Was he like mansplaining? That's what we'd call it, acting as if his word is like gospel.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is my last question. What are your 3 top tips for not giving a fuck?
First of all, I think that you need to stick to your instinct. You need to listen to your body. Your body tells you everything that you need to know. The second tip, I think, it's don't think about it too much, something that we need to learn. The third tip would be to focus on yourself. There are always going to be someone to be critical of your work, anything in your life. I think that when you focus on yourself, you don't really focus on anything else. You just believe in what you're doing.
You heard it here, everyone. Are you wearing your merch right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so cool.
Are those available to buy for anyone watching?
Yes, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll talk you through the details.
Oh, amazing. Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on Girli IRL. At the end of every episode, I always do a little screenshot, aka photo. Okay, you ready?
Yay.
Thanks for watching Girli IRL. Subscribe to the audio podcast so you never miss a podcast again.